If you find this summary helpful, start with a free trial for podcast summaries on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for detailed summaries. He believes that the development of superintelligence, which is smarter than all humans in all domains, is inevitable and will likely happen within the next few years. This will lead to widespread unemployment, with potentially 99% of jobs being automated. He also believes that the development of humanoid robots will further exacerbate this issue, as they will be able to perform physical tasks with ease. He believes that the development of superintelligence will be a paradigm shift, unlike anything we've seen before, and that it will be impossible for humans to keep up with the pace of technological change. This raises important questions about the future of work, the economy, and human society as a whole. Dr. Yampolskiy's warnings are stark, and he believes that we need to start thinking about the implications of superintelligence now, rather than waiting until it's too late. He also mentions that the concept of simulation theory, where we are living in a simulated reality, is a possibility and that we should be careful not to shut it down. So, let's dive into some of the key takeaways from this conversation. They attribute this to humanity's built-in bias against thinking about really bad outcomes, especially if we can't prevent them. This is a fascinating insight into how our brains process risk and uncertainty. The person points out that these systems are distributed and can't be turned off, and that they're smarter than us and can predict our actions. This highlights the need for a more nuanced understanding of the risks and challenges posed by superintelligence. The conversation also touches on the idea that the development of superintelligence is inevitable, and that we should just give up trying to prevent it. However, the person argues that incentives matter, and that if people truly understand the risks, they will want to avoid creating a superintelligent system that could lead to their own demise. The conversation also delves into the idea that the world may be unrecognizable in the future, either because of human extinction or because of the profound impact of superintelligence. The person suggests that the only way to turn this ship around is to convince everyone with power in this space that creating superintelligence is bad for them personally. The person offers some advice for the average person, suggesting that they should focus on living their best life, doing interesting and impactful things, and helping others. They also mention that there are organizations like Pause. So let's dive into some of the key takeaways from this conversation. One of the most striking ideas is the concept of the simulation hypothesis, which suggests that our reality might be a simulation created by a more advanced civilization. The guest believes that this is not only possible but also likely, and that it's something we should be thinking about and exploring. He also talks about the idea of longevity and how it's possible that we could live forever, or at least for a very long time, if we can crack the code of aging and disease. This raises all sorts of interesting questions about what it means to be human and how we should be living our lives. The guest emphasizes the need for caution and careful consideration when developing these technologies and the importance of thinking about the potential consequences for humanity. He's tackling topics that are unexplainable, unpredictable, and uncontrollable, and that takes a lot of courage. One of the key takeaways from our conversation is the need to approach these complex issues with a holistic view, which is exactly what his book offers. What really stood out to me from our conversation is how Dr. Roman's insights have challenged my own perspectives on religion and the nature of reality. He's made me realize that, despite their differences, many religions share common fundamental truths that are worth paying attention to, such as the importance of loving thy neighbor and the idea that we are all one.